Yep.
All right, sweet. Okay, so how do you want to do that? Because you said that you just wanted to. Do you want to talk about kind of the video, or do you have more just overall explanation, or you want me to ask you questions? Because we can do it whatever way you want.
Things in the video first, and then you can ask me questions.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I guess I should
Um,
say who you are, Kamikaze Kai, right? Or do you go by a different name nowadays?
Kamikaze, Kamikaze K.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
You're good. But yeah, because I heard you mention in the video, at least when it came up to my part, because I know I'm kind of like I don't really communicate much through Instagram, but you were saying something about allegations and me being MIA or something like that off
Yeah.
of social media,
Yeah.
and I didn't I didn't necessarily go MIA because of any type of false allegations or anything against me, because most people that have allegations against them do disappear off the internet or whatever. But I never felt the need to, because those allegations were already proven false, and they were from like a very long time ago.
Hmm.
And a lot of people would just try to slander me at the time. And but yeah, but I just wanted to update you on that, and also about certain things in the video where you said like the plan for Jordan or Sonny was to get a house with Desmond the Gray,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, but that was also false.
Okay.
So the plan actually was to because Desmond had left the group and stuff like that, and uh, not to spread any like, I'm not trying to say this to spread any hatred or hate towards anybody, but I'm gonna say what I'm about to say because it's the truth and it was real. So, Desmond had left the group and started creating rumors about me and Jordan, and wanted to separate our friends from, me and Jordan, because he felt like he didn't like the energy or something like that around the path,
Yeah.
Jordan and I were going down.
Cause
And
yeah. Oh my bad.
huh, yeah, you're good.
I was just gonna
What were
say
you about to
that
say?
because most of the I didn't try to take it all from one source, but most of the information that I was able to gather was mostly from him because he was the one guy that was kind of willing to speak. There was also Elijah Prince, if you know him. He also told me a little bit as well.
Oh yeah,
And he did mention something that he said that he didn't like the energy and kind of he thought that it was like going in a satanic way or whatever. But I was
yeah.
only able to draw just from what he gave me because and the only reason that so for what you're telling me is like the allegations came out like long before you ever left the internet pretty well. Like you left for unrelated reasons basically.
Well, I never left the internet at all. I
No, you
never
didn't.
left anything.
You still post me because I also talked to another artist. He said that you were just basically taking a break from like music. You were like focusing on more real life type of stuff. So that's why I'd assume that you kind
Oh,
of
oh,
yeah.
yeah. But that wasn't from no stupid like alligator. Like I don't. That wasn't definitely not from that. Like I just did that because I don't want to be. If I didn't make it in music yet, I don't want to be pushing 30 and freaking still trying to be a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah, that makes
So I
sense.
kind of started taking things just more in a serious, real life things.
Smart idea for sure.
Um, but yeah, also I can say this, that Vampire Cult was originally created by me and Jordan, and those people that were in the group, Elijah, Desmond, like I said, they had left the group, and everyone, even in Vampire Cult, was against me and Jordan. and
Okay.
because we were going down a dark path, but I don't want to disclose too much about it. But it was a dark path, so I don't disagree there.
Hmm.
But the real plans were for Jordan to go to California, get an RV, and so we can me and the people that were in the group, you know, can travel around and do shows and save money in the RV.
Yeah.
So
So he
that
wasn't.
was like that, huh?
So he wasn't really. He never had any intention to stay in LA long term. It was always kind of just get in, make some
No,
money, and get the hell out. Is what you're
yep,
saying.
exactly.
Mm.
So when I heard the video and I said, and I heard you say something about him getting a house with Desmond, like that was never gonna, that was never the plan. So I was like, where is that even coming from?
Mm.
You know, because Desmond had left the group and he actually wasn't fond of Desmond at all. And you know, because like I said, there was rumors that Desmond created around me and Jordan to try to get everybody away from us. So
Okay.
it's like,
So there was just like a
and
falling out within the friend group, or it was just.
yes, there was a falling out, and Jordan did ended up forgiving him after a while, but they never had no plans after that.
Hmm.
So I was wondering where the heck that information even came from, because that was definitely not true, you know.
Yeah, I would assume it must have been something that must have been said before there was drama. Like, I guess you know what I mean, because it seems like you guys had a more thought out plan of action where maybe it was just like at some point he said, "Yeah, man, we're gonna get a house." I mean, I guess you'd have to get it directly from him. I wish it was a little bit sooner after the video so I could tell you where I pulled all the information from specifically. But that's what I would probably assume is that maybe that was planned or dreamt about at one point, but then it changed as time went on.
Yeah, and this is just, you know, even if that was the case, I'm just here to give you updated and real like information that was actually like updated, you know, to the recent until because
That was more
you know,
like,
like I said,
yeah.
after Desmond left in 2019, I mean that was it. Like he never knew any of the plans anymore. He wasn't in the group,
Hmm.
and we didn't hang out. None of us hung out with each other after that. So it was like Desmond doesn't really know what the real plans were, why he was even in California and everything like that. You
Did,
know?
did you go to California with him?
No, I never went to California at all with
Okay.
Jordan. What had happened was he had asked me to go with him, but I said I wasn't ready to go over there in an environment like that. So he ended up taking Lil Gloom with him instead, and then they had went to California.
Okay. Is he still
Yeah,
around in any? Have you spoken to him at all, or is that somebody you even knew, or is that just like another friend? Because I seen he was part of Vampire Cult at least. It
yeah,
says on Genius the members. I'm not sure if they're completely correct, but
yeah. Gloom. Yeah, I knew him. I know him, but he was in Vampire Called too, and yeah, he was a close friend as well to Jordan,
hmm.
and but he's not around much anymore. Like he kind of just went MIA for some reason. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
it makes sense.
like I
It's
said,
probably similar reason to what you're saying. Like, not everybody wants to try to be a SoundCloud rapper forever. You eventually want to
yeah,
get your footing. So,
exactly. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, now like the group doesn't really talk to each other anymore, and like I said, as far as those releases that's been coming out, like Exploited Teen, like Jordan's album that just recently released and stuff like that.
yeah.
There's no team helping to release anything. Like there's no team behind the scenes for Jordan. Nothing. It's just strictly me.
Hmm.
And you know, his mom. I'm still helping his mom figure out uh, music stuff and stuff like that. And
So,
huh?
between the two of you, you kind of have like all the. Do you have all the unreleased music? Like,
Yes.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, because me and Jordan were like basically brothers, and I see him as my brother, and um, he kind of entrusted everything to me, and I don't know where the heck the rest of the group is, but I would have thought somebody else would have been helping me as well with
Hmm.
everything, and even helping his mom, but it's literally just been me. I found producers to help me with that whole Exploited Teen album. I put the whole thing together myself,
Hmm.
and I released it to his page, like, because a lot of people have this conception where it's just like they're like, oh, I wish his team or they or somebody can do release this or that, but there's no they. It's just me, you know.
Yeah,
So
because he was never signed to a
you know,
label, right?
no, not at all.
Hmm.
So
Like,
I'm just doing everything I still can to this day. I even released an animation recently that I paid for and everything. So I'm still doing stuff to this day to help him and his mom.
yeah. So so you didn't go to him with LA, but when he was in there, you still kept in contact with him at the time.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely still called, and we still talked and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Talked about plans and everything like that.
And it was still kind of
Um,
like, I just want to get out of here. Did you feel like his mood changed as time went on? Did you feel like LA was kind of
yeah,
wearing on him? Yeah.
definitely. Like, he started out being excited, of course, and then he started to get like this real blank expression to where like, he kind of just stopped he stopped talking a lot. He stopped being very expressive about how he felt, and he kind of was just very quiet on the phone. And he did tell me that something was bothering him, and he apologizes if he comes off rude and stuff. But
Hmm.
he did say a lot of things. Something was just bothering him in his head.
Yeah.
You
But you
know.
never found out what? Like, you think it was any of those comparisons at the time? Because I know on the internet people kept making videos comparing him to another artist. But do you think that was getting to him, or it was more just the way the LA was? Like,
Mm-mm. I don't think it was the comparisons. I think it was. I think it was L.A. and his love life at the time,
hmm,
because that other girl was there. What's her name? Michaela,
Michaela, yeah.
and they were going back and forth with love, and love can kind of make you think crazy things, especially when you're far from home. So I think he was just a mixture of being homesick, heartbroken, and just bored.
Yeah.
Because
Not as
a lot
exciting
of
as it should be. Yeah.
right, and he was telling me he didn't get much time to record, and they would charge him money over there to record music. Like, Tokyo wasn't the best, I guess you can say. Um, didn't give him the best, like,
Set up.
in
Was he living with them? Like with Tokyo and all those guys?
yeah, he went there to live at Tokyo's house, and I don't know. It was just strange. All that is strange. I'm not gonna assume anything or point any fingers,
Hmm.
because I don't know the truth on like what actually happened. You know, I do know he was trying to get back home though, and
Yeah.
he never got to come back home, and which is just very odd. But
Because somebody who told me that she was an ex of Sonny's is that he was never even really with Michaela. That was more like just somebody that was kind of around, but I wasn't sure about that. And I didn't know that he actually like lived in the 444 house at the time that he was in LA. Do you know how he met Tokyo? Or
yeah, I mean, he had met Tokyo from like a long time ago, like 2017, 2018,
hmm,
and they've been friends since then. But there's been a lot of like there's been a lot of like back and forth issues between them sometimes, like little online things, like Tokyo would say something online about him. And then he would like confront Tokyo, talk about it, and everything would be resolved, whatever. Just little stuff like that. But they met, and so they would just hang out. So then, I guess he found, Tokyo offered him to come stay there if he wanted to go to California. And yeah, I was supposed to go with him, like I said, but I didn't. I wasn't. I felt like I wasn't ready to go over there,
Hmm.
so I never went. So he just went over to his house, and he ended up living there for the time being until he was ready to leave.
Yeah, makes sense. Is that is there anything else you kind of thought about the video that was a little off, or were those the main things? Because that's the, like you knew him throughout, like since he was a kid, right? So a lot of that early stuff, but you can't say too much about the LA stuff as much, right?
Well, well, the LA, as far as what, like, what do you mean?
Well, it's just
Like,
I've heard that like there's some sort of like NDA or something to do with what went on in that house. So I don't know how much, and I don't know how much attention you really want to give any of them either. Because you said
oh,
you didn't really think that they should be associated with his legacy because it was just a small part of his life, you know.
oh yeah, yeah, 444. He definitely didn't join 444 or anything like that. He was just living with them. He was still Vampire Cult.
Hmm.
Vampire Cult. That's why he went over there for Vampire Cult, so he can raise money and then get an RV and then come back and then we all go on tour
Hmm.
basically. And he was never a part of that group at all, and he was just associated with them.
Yeah.
And but as far as Tokyo and all of them, like I don't. A lot of people try to say like they were brothers and best friends, but that's just for me. I don't. His real true people were Vampire Cult, and they weren't 444 weren't really like true to him. They didn't know him before the fame, basically before the popularity.
Hmm. They're just like online
And
friends, and then he kind of offered him the world to be like, come to LA and everything will change. And then,
yeah, pretty much.
yeah. The only other question I would have is, did at one point was he ever part of the, or at least around the Triple Nine mob? You know about that group in LA?
Who's in that group?
It's like Burn Kaz and Drown Millie. Um, I seen a couple pictures of them all together, so I wasn't sure if when he first came down, if he was around them, or if it was just kind of connected. Oh.
Oh, yeah, he probably did meet up with people with them, but like I said, Jordan was a very loyal person. Like he stayed true to who his real people were.
Hmm.
So he never really, he like I said, he got Vampire Cult tattooed on his chest. Like he's loyal to his group.
Yeah,
So I know when he went over there, if even if he met up with anybody else, it was most likely just to network and network and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because even in the Cult Classic interview, like he still said like Vampire Cult, and that's how I was kind of able to figure out like, okay, he was part of a different group because they said like they kind of had the distinction between they were like this is 444, and then they said Vampire Cult at the same time, even though they were probably trying to link it together at the time. But okay,
Yeah.
so can we expect any more releases? Like, is there going to be another project, or is it kind of just like miscellaneous songs at this point that you're going to want to release throughout the next
Mm,
couple of years?
uh, maybe just singles, but as far as albums, I don't think there will be any more albums. Mainly because maybe not.
Hmm.
But most of the songs that I do have that are unreleased, I'm just respecting Jordan's wishes because he doesn't want anyone to hear those songs
Oh, okay,
because
yeah.
they're like old
Old.
and kind of just yeah. So I
Because,
don't think,
oh, my bad.
huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I don't believe I might just release a few singles maybe, but as far as that, I might just do animation videos for songs that are already out. So
That'd be super cool. Yeah, because the final project that you released, was that already kind of in the works before he passed, and you just kind of took it to the finish line, or did you have to reconstruct it?
yeah, so I was missing like I only had 5 songs out of like 18, and yeah, so a lot of his fans were slandering me, saying, "Oh, like you're taking too long. Why are you slacking? What's going on?"
Hmm.
And no one knows that it's just me trying to do this, and he had recorded some songs in California, but I didn't know who he recorded with, how to get those songs. So, I had to deal with people leaking the songs. I had to get it, I had to message them, telling them to take it down so I could put it on the album. Like, so I had to find songs just from random people, and it was just such a process. And
Yeah,
you know,
I
I
was
only
kind of
ended up finding like 9 songs.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, and then I had to just make the rest. Like I had to get the rest from older songs and kind of remix them from different producers and stuff. So
because I was kind of interested to know about that because I know um, with like Little Peep's mom, she's had a lot of trouble getting songs from certain people. So I was curious if it's like as soon as they find out that it's his mother, if they're that's asking for it back like through you, if they're like instantly like okay, or if they try to like extort you out of money, or they're like no, or try to make it a hard time for you.
yeah, it's definitely a hard time because even there's some people that didn't want to give songs over and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I had to like that it was just a hassle, and I kind of had to like find a way to finesse it to get the song and upload the song before they did and stuff. It was just a hassle that I was dealing with,
Hmm.
and certain artists. I don't know if I should say any names, but like, um, because I this is not for me to hate or anything, but like Munch, I had to get
I
a song from Munch.
had a feeling you were gonna say that. I don't know why. I just had a feling that was who you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was trying to get this song that Jordan apparently wanted on his album. So I
Right.
asked him, I'm like, yo, so like, can we get this song? Because it was supposed to be on his album, so I could upload it to his page.
Hmm.
But Munch was like, oh, I already paid for promotion. Like, I don't really want to give it over, whatever. So I asked him to like hear the song, and I had just took the song and just uploaded it before he could, basically.
That's
Because it's
but
like he can't just take the song and and his mom was messaging him too, and he wasn't trying to hand over the song. So I'm like, the song doesn't technically belong to you. You're a feature on the song.
yeah, I feel like everything kind of changes like after the person passes. Then it's like even if you did, I can understand where people get frustrated if they paid for it or whatever. But even I was kind of confused. Like, what was that connect? Like, I know you probably don't want to speak on their connection because people always said stuff about Tokyo and him being friends, but like you really did see Munch around him all the time in like all the later videos. So was that a before friend
Yeah,
too, or was that just another 444 house type of connection?
yeah. Munch knew Jordan since like 2018, but um, he only really knew Jordan as like the slutty Sonny.
Hmm.
He didn't really know him like in high school or anything back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were real cool with each other. Nothing against Munch. Like I said, I'm not trying to spread any hate against Munch. Like
No.
there's nothing against him. It's just I'm just being real about what I had to deal with a song involving him. He never paid for the song either. Jordan wanted him on the song, so they just ended up doing it, and he tried to upload it to his album, but I felt like that wasn't like the right route to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like it's a little bit like I get what you mean. Like he's putting it on there now so he can kind of because he knows it's gonna get more attention after everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the original DM was like Jordan asking Munch if Munch wanted to be on Jordan's album. So I'm like, you can't just take the song now and put it on your album if he wanted you on his album.
Yeah,
It was
it's the
like, yeah,
struggles of trying to get. I don't think people realize like how complex like a lot of this stuff actually is. I think they just think that like an artist goes to the studio, records all their songs on one hard drive, the entire discography. It's like sometimes it's at this studio, sometimes it's a
yeah,
file in somebody's email. Sometimes people lose shit. Like, um, so like tracking that all down must have, and especially since it wasn't even like a label backing it or anything. It was just like him just making music with whoever in LA, probably a bunch of different places recording. But I'm
yeah.
hoping that now that people kind of know that you're part of the a state or whatever you want to say, they if there is any more songs out there, they will be more willing to hand them over to you.
Yeah, that would be shoot, that would be helpful instead of leaking the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's just annoying sometimes, but
because obviously all the
I
money that's made off of all of his posthumous releases must go right back to his family, and that's like that's what you want,
right,
right? So
exactly. I understand how that can be. People's fan bases that are real loyal to the artist they like. They'll get the songs and upload them. They do that with Juice World, X, all of them.
mhm.
They do that. So I understand, but it's like, if there's a chance where a song can actually be uploaded officially and the money can go to his family, why? I feel like that would be the best option, instead of just releasing it.
And I feel like that's like a full like completely different situation because with somebody like Juice World, it's like the label has like all these songs and people are just getting frustrated because they're trying to commercially put them out in the best way. Where
Yeah.
with this, it's more like you're not even like, oh, I'm gonna get the songs and sit on them. You're like, I'm trying to do the album, I'm trying to put it together and put it out,
Yeah.
but I can't because you guys are,
I can. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
not allowing me to because for whatever reason. No, but that's definitely. I'm glad that you came on and gave your perspective on it because I had wanted to hear different parts because you always, it's so weird the way that the story gets kind of messed up with different people talking about it and adding stuff on and conspiracy theories. So hearing somebody that was actually close to the situation like speak on it is definitely an interesting perspective. So
Yeah. And if you have any more questions or anything, also, a lot of the things that I'm telling you now, like even about Desmond and stuff, is seriously not to spread any hate. Like I don't like doing that.
mhm.
I'm just being real. Like, I'm just being real about the situations and because I want accurate information out there. I don't want nothing like just fabricated and because Desmond doesn't really like me either. So I
Yeah,
feel like people would try to do things just to slander me in the process of it.
I mean,
So when I seen the video, I was like, okay, I need to say something because this is not accurate. You know what I mean?
yeah, he didn't have anything bad to say about you. It was really only like I wish I knew, like I don't even think it was anybody connected that said that, and I just seen like one Reddit post and somebody was like, "Oh, this is why he was gone." But I know when I mentioned your name to him, he like immediately stopped. Like I never heard from him again after that point. And he said something
Oh
like he
god.
didn't even know who you were, and I was like, "There's no way he doesn't know who," because you guys were on like not songs together, but you were on like the same album. So I'm like,
Yeah, we were like so. I mean, yeah.
but yeah, I don't
Just
want
some
to.
real life situation happened, and me and him just don't talk anymore and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's whatever.
makes sense. You got to have like it's not to start any more shit with anybody. It's just to try to like you want to tell your friend's story because we see what happens with people's legacies. Like people start spreading false information, and then by the time it's over, it's not even representate. It's not even a good representation of who the person was when they were actually alive. So
Exactly.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for bringing that information to the table, and good talk.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
appreciate you too for letting me speak about this.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I want to get the best information out there too. It's like a story I'm very interested in. It's a story that I feel like a lot of people in the underground community are still talking about to this day, which is it just shows like how much of an impression he really left.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you go and have a good day, bro.
You too. Appreciate it. Peace.
All right.